Dodge of Board Game Geek here with Ian from Maple Games, and we're looking at Dragon Boats.
Dragon Boats of the Four Seas. Yeah, so this is
of
the Four Seas.
Nice.
So this is the first game from Maple Games. It's distributed through Surfing Maple, and in this game, you are leaders of ancient houses, and you're trying to bring honor to your house and establish them in the four corners of the kingdom, right? So you have the Middle Kingdom, and then you have these four islands around. So at its core, it's a bidding and a set collection game.
Oh, nice.
So you're going to have your bidding discs, and one of the first things you're going to do in the game is determine when you get your final bidding disc by placing it on a future round of the game, and that will determine your starting resources. So if you want to not get your fourth bidding disc until later in the game, you're going to start with more stuff to kind of balance that stuff out to give you a little bit faster out of the gate. Throughout the game, you're going to be placing your bidding discs on these different market stalls.
Okay.
You'll be paying resources based on the level of which your bidding disc is. So in this case, purple would pay 1. Here, it's the second disc, so it would pay 2, but it would get to choose before the blue player.
Oh, okay.
And so you
up to three discs because there's 3 things.
There's no maximum, but eventually you're not gonna want to pay for that. And if you ever don't want to or can't pay, you can always just remove it for an additional coin on your market space.
Okay.
I am guilty of often not doing the math properly.
That's fair.
So you'll once you do that, you pay coins from your own player board. You take whatever resources is, you put it in your storage. Every time you finish an action, you can then choose to place one of your meeples somewhere on the board where they can afford. And the different dragon boats can be, you can pay for passage there, or you can pay the shrines to move up the mountain passes to pay homage to the ancestors up there. And so let's say in this particular instance, I wanted to place mine at the mountain shrine A. I would pay 3 random resources, well not random, 3 of any
your choice.
of my choice, and I would just.
Do you only have space for 3?
At the end of the round, you will have to go down to your storage maximum, which is base 3, but there are cards in the game.
So you can collect more in round and then maybe hopefully sell some, or?
Yes, at the end of the round you can also sell down to get more coins for starting next round. Yep. After all the bidding discs have been satisfied, all the players have gone through and they've gotten their resources, they've gotten their supplies, they've paid passage on the boats. Anybody on who has a meeple on the mountain passes will move their meeples up first.
Oh, cool.
And meeples have a base movement of 3 spaces, so you can go 1, 2, 3. Any space that you pass, you'll gain that resource, whether it's a coin, this is food, and this would be a wisdom card. And those have powerful abilities. Now, since I collected the food on my route up the way, I could pay that food card to move an additional space.
Nice.
And I'm going to want to do that in this example because you need to pay 1 movement to move onto a space to collect that tile. Any meeples that you have in a space are worth points at the end of the game, plus these tiles up on the Shrine Pass give you special benefits, bonuses, break the rules in some way.
Yeah, of course.
This one that I grabbed just lets me get a bunch of resources. The next thing that you'll do is any dragon boats that have the minimum required meeples on them will then move to one of the 2 islands on their path. The meeple in the front of the boat will get off first and move, and the same movement rules. The meeple that is in the center, which is definite on this boat, will get a cheaper ride. They can pay 1 less resource of their choice. And the player in the back, they'll get off last. However, they get to determine where the boat goes.
Oh,
so
wow.
if I know that the purple player really wants to go to this island,
you're not going to go there.
I'm going to maybe decide to go, well, let's go over here instead. You can get off first, but it's going to be less optimal for him because he's going to have to move farther to get that piggy or whatever. So the purple player will move, and they'll do whatever resource they want, and then everybody else in turn will get off the boat, paying food to move as well, collecting these tiles, which at the end of the game score set collection points based on the amount you have.
Oh, okay.
So you'll play over the course of 6 rounds. Once you kind of know what you're doing in the game, it plays real fast, 45 minutes to an hour.
That sounds really great.
Real quick, it's a nice mid-weight worker placement set collection bidding game.
Wow,
yeah,
awesome.
And it is.
And this is now available, or?
It will be available for retail very, very soon. It is being delivered to Kickstarter backlist right now. This is the first title from Maple Games that kickstarted it back in October of last year.
Excellent.
And it's being delivered to backlist right now, so available for retail soon. So let your FLGS know that you want it.
Dragon Boats of the Four Seas. Gorgeous production. Love the little boats and meeple. I love
it. Aren't these cute? Look at these. Let's fold them together.
Oh my goodness, that's adorable. So we'll be looking for that real soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.